Hello, Claire.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. So dark here now.
Is it?
It's dark a lot of the time. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Pitch black. It's 4:30 p.m. and it's absolutely pitch black.
wow,
Yeah,
4:30.
yeah,
Black. Oh my goodness. Huh. Gets darker there quicker than it does here, even.
yeah.
The
Yep.
mountains.
Anyway, 21st of December is round the corner. Well, as we're recording this, and then
Going
it'll
the
start
other
getting
way.
lighter again. Definitely.
That's right. Yeah.
So I have got a word for you.
Okay, do tell.
The word is wait. As
Wait,
in
as in waiting,
WEIGHT. No,
as in weight.
as
Oh,
in
okay. Ah,
of the body, as it were.
body weight. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
that
well, this
old
is so
chestnut.
Yeah. Well, this is so funny because I was just talking about clothes because I work from home. I don't have to go out a lot. And I was just saying that I have a lot of clothes that don't fit me anymore, but I love them and I don't want to give them up. And I don't know if my body will ever change enough in a way that I would wear them again. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I have a lot of thinking about weight. I've helped a lot of people with body stuff, and there's so much thinking around it, around everything. I'll try and keep it to weight because there's so much thinking that weights us down and has us going to um, do things or not do things that actually make the body even heavier.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to share this story. I haven't shared it yet, but it's like, I know this is going to make a really good story. And I called it My Elf on the Shelf, but it's not an elf. It's Lindor chocolate. And it's since for so many years, it's been a chocolate. They're the one, they're little balls and there's
I
different
do know.
flavors. I love them.
We've got a shop where you can go, like, do pick and mix with the Lindor in Leeds, where I live.
Wow.
Yeah, you can. Now you're gonna come
Very
and visit
cool.
me, aren't you, Michaela?
Getting in the books. Well, Costco, they sell a mixture, an assortment of 4 different kinds. And for the last, anyway, it's been a tradition that I use Lindors in our stockings at Christmas, and other times throughout the year, but but they disappear. So we got a box early from Costco for Christmas Eve. And I told Rob, I said, okay, put it away, hide it away. You go put it somewhere. Rob and I approach food differently. And I am being, how do I say? I am looking at this from a different perspective because of this whole chocolate thing that I've been witnessing over the last 2 weeks. So I said, for me, it's like, I just don't buy those things. I just don't have them around the house.
Hmm.
Rob could have that stuff around the house and he'll have one, now and again. It's not a thing. For me, for whatever I believe about it, and here's one of the beliefs. So this is so, were you reading my mind? Because this last week, even the talk I did yesterday, it was about really being with anything. Like, what do you find keeps coming up in your mind that has you taking action or something that is not serving you? It's not helping. And maybe it just might be reliving a story. Anyway, so things like this. I grew up on a farm. We lived in a farm. Any kind of treats we had, I mean, Sunday after church, sometimes we would stop at the local bar, only the store part of the bar. They had a little where you could buy chips and chocolate bars. Only that part was open. The bar part wasn't over yet. But we might stop and Dad would get us each a chocolate bar. And I would savor my chocolate bar and like have it last. But it was a treat. Saturdays were baking days. If there was going to be some kind of dessert baked, it was baked on a Saturday, and it usually lasted to the end of the weekend, to the end of Sunday. During holidays, Mom bakes. I still believe she made the best cinnamon buns I've ever tasted because of the goo she put on it and everything. It was just delightful. So what I've really been seeing this week with this chocolate stuff, because what happened, so I'll get to the story part. I said, hide it away. I don't even want to think about it. And then a couple of weeks ago, I said, okay. And I had looked for the chocolates a couple of times.
Like a naughty child looking for their Christmas presents.
But it wasn't so much on my mind, just every now and again. Here's when, at night, when I'm tired and feeling a little, whatever I'm feeling. But it was always at night. And anyway, so once I asked him, I said, okay, where are they? I just want a couple, He didn't tell me. I said, okay, that's fine. And then the time goes on. A couple of days later, we're talking about something totally different. And he said, by the way, the chocolates are in the whatever. And it's like, what? Why would you tell me? Now listen to me, right? Getting angry with him because it's like, I didn't want the and now it's in my mind. So look at what happened. So, and then it was like, well, now I'm done for. It was like I gave up, like I gave in, and I could see this. So, I had several, put them away. And then I said, okay, take him, put him somewhere else. He did. And then, I don't know, a day or so later, I texted him. I said, okay, where are they? He was on his way home from work. It was later. He was late. And he said, I can't tell if you're serious or not, because he doesn't want to get in trouble. Right? I said, no, it's good. It's good. Fine. Just tell me. Because at this point, it's like, Michaela, there's something here. Just look at it. Just get with it. Stop trying to run away from it. Stop trying to see what's going on. Like have a look. What am I missing? And I could see all of these things. I'm not finished this experiment. And I have eaten more chocolates. And I feel my body is fluffier. I feel it on me, talking about the weight. And then it goes into, and it's like, nope. Because I already embarked on, it's like, all right, let's do this. Let's be with this and let's just explore. And it's like, what am I afraid of missing out in? Because you can get Lindors at the dollar store now. I could go every day of the week and get them, right? If I really wanted them. So what is it? Like, I'm still exploring that. So I just wanted to share that. It was just so fresh in my mind, because I did say to Rob, I said, this feels like Elf on the Shelf, but I can never find it. So you have to tell me where it is, you're not putting it in an obvious place. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to have any kind of relationship, because it's all relationship with my thought about it, right? I don't want to have any kind of relationship with food or my body or my weight. We just talked about having like photographs that we have sort of out in public. This week, I updated a couple of pictures that are like one on my email and one in some other kind of app, where I had pictures on there that were from 10 years ago. And it was interesting because when you press play on our podcast and you have it set up so that the beginning runs first and I can see the picture, it's like, that's the picture. That's the picture on our podcast from 2014. It's 2024. I don't look like that anymore. So I would like to change that, Claire. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, but this whole, this whole relationship that we have, that I have with my body, that I see so many people have, about that number on the scale, or the size, or just the shape, girth, whatever of the body, means something about who we are. And it doesn't. It may, there may there yeah, it doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say if you have a fuller body, more on your bones than, like, you probably can't see. Look, you can't, see my breastbone or whatever. And it's like, it doesn't mean anything about who I am as as a person. I know, and now you know some things about it, because I'm sharing that. Well, this could also be a story of, hey, I have a relationship with chocolate, which I don't usually have, but when it's around the house, I eat more of, or I eat it, and it doesn't respond. My body doesn't respond well to it. It actually feels a little icky. I'll get headaches. And then, of course, if you understand the facts of how the body works in that way, um, carbs and all that kind of stuff, for every carb, I think it's 3 grams of water that's held in the body, like, there's all of these things that can contribute to it, and so much of it. So physiologically, yes, understand that. But in the mind, what does it really mean? Nothing. Your weight
Yeah, I
means
mean
nothing.
the chocolate thought thing. I had a relationship with a chocolate thought. It was like a switch. If we sat down on a Saturday night to watch a movie, which is what we'd usually do, tea in front of the telly on a Saturday night. Tea is our evening meal, just in case. I've got a quick translation. I would, like, literally, it'd be like the chocolate thought would appear. Oh, it's time to have chocolate now, because she sat watching a movie. Like, it was like a switch went off. And for a long time, I used to argue with it. So I call it the slimming world conversation with the chocolate thought. So it went like this: well, you've not really eaten very much today, and you've eaten a lot of salad, so you can probably have the chocolate. Or, well, you went for a long walk today, so you probably have the chocolate. Or you're going for a long walk tomorrow, so chocolate's okay. Like, and it would be like this sort of having the chocolate, not having the chocolate, back and forth. But when you shouldn't really have the chocolate because you've eaten something else, blah blah, this week, or you haven't had enough, you've had too many sins or points or whatever finickety thing I was counting at that point. And it would just go back and forth and back and forth. And of course, all that happened then was the chocolate thought just got more and more energy, and just became like I was possessed, to the point where the only thing I could then do was eat the chocolate, because the chocolate thought was, I just argued with it so much that it just became massive. And then at some point, I think it might have been, Jamie Smart says thought is construction, not instruction.
Hmm.
He says that, and I suddenly thought, oh, that isn't actually the truth. It's not. It's just my mind has just got into a habit, like, quite boringly, of creating this thought every time I sit down and then it was like, oh, there, I can just, like, watch that. That's not. Oh, and I'm actually fine if I don't respond to it. It was really weird, and then it just stopped turning up. And I can't remember the last time I actually had chocolate. Um,
Hmm.
And chocolate was my thing. I mean, I do quite like savoury things. I mean, Bruce cooked some nuts this afternoon in the air fryer, like roasted some nuts in the air fryer, and I was like, at lunchtime, I was like, I'll just have one more. I'll just have one more. But chocolate in that particular situation has just completely disappeared as a thing. But you're right. It's the thinking. There's so much thought about it. And when I was at Viva in Spain, I had a bit of a teary moment in one of the sessions. So one of the breakout sessions was about the body. Well, it was about physical health. I think the title of it was something about physical health. And there was like a panel of 3 women at the front, just sharing their physical health journeys. And I put my hand up and I just said, I'm a middle-aged woman who has, and my diet is extremely healthy. There's just no, if you saw what I ate, you'd just go, why is she carrying 2 stone? It's just, where's it come from? My dad's got healthy, it's like I've put on more weight, but then that's probably because there was just a lot of thinking about it, and just asking. So I asked that question, I burst into tears. Loads of women came up to me afterwards, and I'm so glad you asked that question. We're all feeling the same, why, where's all this weight come from? Blah, blah, blah. Because it's disproportionate, I think, you could kind of get away with more when you're younger, can't you? You can kind of eat the chocolate and there doesn't seem to be the same kind of impact. But like you're saying, something changes within us as we get older, and all our body's doing really is saying, you might need to change some things here. But what I noticed after I asked that question in Viva, I just started to notice how much my mind went to my body. So, for example, Gabriella, I can't say her surname. She's got a double barrel surname. She's one of the 3 principals. She's one of the speakers at the event. She's beautiful. She's my age, same age as me, 52, I think. Very slim. And I was sitting watching her do her talk thinking, well, I can't go up there because I don't have a body like her. Like my mind, and obviously I don't believe when I've gone, what the heck? But I just started to notice the sheer quantity. And for a couple of days, I was just seeing it all. Like, it was like, what the actual chuff is this? It's just continually like going on and on and on. And I, I suspect that's because I was often berated for my weight as a child. I thought I was overweight when I was younger. I probably wasn't actually. I probably just developed earlier than a lot of other girls I hung around with. Like when my peers didn't seem to develop as early as me, I developed very young. So felt bigger because I was developed, and I was very tall as well. I'm like 5'7", 5'8", so I was taller than all the other girls as well. So there's something going on. My parents more than once berated me in front of other people about my weight. So it was just, but all of a sudden I just saw it all, like just literally saw how it's thought after thought after thought after thought about this, about my body, about not being okay. And I just started to go, holy Moses, look at it all. Like, look at it all. Like, it was almost like I just suddenly became like sensory overload. I just became very aware of it. And as a result of that, I started to notice some just slight behavior changes around food that where the areas where I was probably kidding myself, my diet was healthier than I thought it was. And a couple of little things kind of changed. I found myself like tuning into my body. So I had noticed my stomach getting a little bit upset sometimes, and it's pulses. And interesting, when we're in Spain, they don't really eat a lot of pulses, so I wasn't really eating any pulses, and I noticed that my stomach really like wasn't as bloated and all that kind of stuff. And so coming home, I went to Bruce, right, we're not having pulses anymore. They are definitely disagreeing with my body. My body is telling me in no uncertain terms and some quite smelly terms that it doesn't like pulses. And then there were another couple of things, just little things that I just sort of went, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. That doesn't feel quite right. And I have lost weight. Like, I think what's mainly been lost is like the weight of thinking that literally, and I'm just noticing how, oh yeah, I'm not associating, I'm not noticing, and I'm not also, and this used to be a big focusing of me, noticing overweight people around me, like noticing overweight children, noticing overweight adults, particularly overweight children. I had a right bee in my bonnet about that. Like, I've just stopped. I'm just not seeing that as much, not focusing on it. I'm not judging. There was a lot of judgment. So, of course, that wasn't healthy towards me or the other people. And it's just felt like a big shedding has happened, that just from seeing how much thinking I had. And then I've just started to notice it about money as well. I think that's I think we have a similarly odd relationship with our bodies and food and stuff as we do with money. I think that's also got a lot of messaging around it that we've picked up as children, those two subjects. And then because I'd kind of become very aware of the weight thinking, I suddenly went, why are you thinking so hard about the price difference between these 2 train tickets? The one that's more expensive is so much more convenient. It's £2 more expensive. What are you doing? Like, that would be like, "Oh, I should be definitely getting the cheaper one," you know? Like, really, like, that's ridiculous. It's £2. Why would you know, like, that's it. Just seeing how much our mind is busied with thinking about stuff, and how I think a lot of my thinking about my weight and body and other people's weights and body had been very unconscious. It had just been like
Mhm.
bubbling away insidiously under the surface, and all of a sudden it was like somebody shone a light on it. And I always think that's like the gremlin thing, isn't it? When you put the gremlins in the daylight, they just go, and it's like the light of awareness suddenly just went, "Look at all this thinking you've got about your body. What a lot." And it was nonsense. I mean, some of it was so ludicrous, I don't even wanna share it here 'cause it was just so ridiculous. But it would just be all the time,
Mm.
all the time, and awareness has been the only thing that's changed. And how much time do we spend trying to change our behavior around food? And it sounds like that's what you're playing with
Yeah.
the Lindors, is just this kind of curiosity of what is really going on here. It's right, quite funny really when you start to look at it, you go, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like we can probably do another one on this.
We could. We
Yeah.
could. I just can I share just one thing
Yeah, yeah.
about that came up because I saw how when what came up was, like, our little babies and our little toddlers, like, when I took care of our babies growing up, and I was very health conscious for them,
Mm,
and, made everything from scratch, so I knew every ingredient that was going into their bodies, and I
mm,
had a variety and, all of that. And I just saw how and, you're, getting it all in, making healthy cookies. I wasn't a big baker, I always wanted to be one of those moms that had fresh cookies and muffins and all that, healthy. But I did have, so all because here's the thing, when you think about the physiology of our body, our tongue, we're made to taste all these things, right? Sweet, salty,
mhm,
bitter, sour. It's just like we're made for it. We'll want it because it's like if we don't get it, there's like this receptor that's bare all the time. So it's like, what if we're satisfying these things and not making it seem like bad or a treat, like calling, when I mean, we do it from the beginning, right? Where we call anything with sugar in it that's a treat. You can't have that every day, or you can't, there's these
mm,
taboos on it. So what happens? It's like, oh, it's in the mind. We have chocolate in the house and I can't have it. Oh my God, it's what I'm going to think about.
mm,
Right? It's crazy, it's just understanding that, but kind of what's come to me is, like, taking care, like, when is the last time I don't believe that I'm really taking great care of my body. I'm not giving it the attention that I gave my kids. I'll blow past meals.
mm,
Sometimes I'll blow past all the hunger stuff and not have lunch until, like, 4 o'clock because I booked my calls back to back to back. So, I don't have a lot of so there's some basic care and attention that we can bring to the table to help and ensure that what are the needs, first of all, our physical needs, what does our bodies need? Because it might be craving things because it knows that, well, it's okay, it's not the chocolate, it's not the sugar, it's not the whatever, but there's something else in it that maybe my body needs. Wisdom's at play here too, right?
mhm,
So it's just like getting to know, it's just like, what is wanting something just because I'm obsessing about it now? And what is, oh, I'm there's something that my body actually needs. And is this the thing that I can get the healthiest choice from it from, or is it something else? So there's a lot in
Mm.
that. So you're right. We could absolutely do another call because there is a lot in and around it that can affect it. Yeah. And asking for help is
Mm.
helpful, right?
Yeah.
I'm one
Yeah.
who I think I can just, it's like, I know everything. I know what I need to do. I
Yeah.
know all of that. I know. Well, I'm asking someone to help. So I don't have to think about it all. And I don't have to try and cobble things together from what I know or learn. And it's like, can you circumvent that? Maybe help to find out what is my body missing, like make
Mm.
sure that I've got all my vitamins and mineral, that they're topped up. So it's like, okay, now I know where I'm at, finding out kind of what is your physiology needs, and what is the story that's interfering and putting that extra weight on.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
can I
We
can
can we
yeah.
could I think we should come back to this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
Yeah. Take care.
Very good. Yeah. Ciao.
Bye.